Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video. Welcome to today's August 6th, 2022, Saturday. Welcome to our live chat discussion. We'll actually have two other live chat discussions. We'll be streaming live today because there's just some information I want to put out here. This one is more of like a for professionals, business minded individuals, and especially more specifically, this particular live chat is targeted for entrepreneurs, those that may be thinking about going into small business, or maybe you've been in small business but not for long. Maybe you have a small business and you have a full time job, two part time job, you might have two other jobs. We just want this chat, this live stream today to be kind of like a refresher, kind of put some things on you guys' mind. I can preach a certain thing, and people still have to do what's best for them, and their families, and take the route that's going to be best for them. Just want to drop some of those gems and tips of advice when it comes to polishing up those resume documents, business documents in general. Even though I use the word resume for this live stream title. But it just seems like a topic that might seem elementary. Like, what does she mean perfecting your resume in 2022? If you're new to my channel, welcome. Go ahead and hit that like button. And most of all, even better, that subscribe button so that you can tune in to more live discussions just like these, brought to you by the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. Um, I was saying welcome, but in case you're new to my channel, guys, a lot of times, we do interview entrepreneurs, leaders, community leaders, and independent contractors, freelancers, people who have experience when it comes to independence and financial freedom. We do this too. One of our main missions and reasons of doing that is to keep the power of business networking alive, connecting more and more entrepreneurs together. It's not a new mission. Crown Content Publications just wants to be a part of it in our own community and abroad. We believe that the more business networking we can have going on post pandemic, the better. Because you had a lot of independent businesses fall too that are still out of business. Once the beginning effects of the pandemic began to happen. So we at Crown Content Publications began to ask ourselves, like, what can we do? What purpose are we serving? Even though I considered myself an independent freelancer at the start of the pandemic too, I still had this heart like, no, it's about my community too. It's about the other children around the neighborhood. It's about what other parents and entrepreneurs might be going through. What is it that we need during the after effects of a pandemic, that could help us get as close, if not back to normal, as closest to normal, or revamp these businesses, or go new directions, or whatever it is we need to do. But one thing I do believe, that nobody should ever not pursue their dreams, their vision, their goal of a business they want to start, over something like a national state of emergency or pandemic. Though this is not uncommon. You have countries, third world countries right now, that have their turmoils and trials and tribulations going on right now too. And that's another thing that also brought life back to reality for me. When these people are getting bombed, when their kids are getting kidnapped and sex trafficked, when these things are happening, because these are some of the effects of war, especially new age war. If you have not been studying already, how wars, whether they're silent, loud, um, biological weapons, or whatever is being used, war in general has always affected the lives of the people that are being attacked. It's a war. And one of the main ways we survive war is, you first got to know which side of it you are on. For Ukrainians, we know, though, some of how they were affected, they didn't even see coming. I'm just reminding guys, just think about that. Like, some of these people had businesses of their own, they had jobs, they had, so we can only imagine when we talk about the word transition and what transition might be like during warlike times or through attacks and targeted attacks in your country and stuff like that, do we really think about what all these people are gonna have to do as far as starting over? First, trying to get replaced in a new home, get you a new job, and if they did have businesses in Ukraine, I'm using them for example. These neighborhoods that were attacked, these communities that were, bombed. I don't know what better word to use because this is straightforward. Like this is what's going on over there. Had we thought about what one small business owner might have had to go through, what one professional business, no matter what their career status was, once they were attacked this way during these times, and now you got Taiwan and China, I think, and even other small countries we just don't hear about on the daily, Sri Lanka and what they're going through right now. Even when it comes to natural disasters, right? And no matter how insensitive this sounds, business has always made it has always made, I don't want to say the world go round, but business has always been a part of this world and what helped societies to function, whether it was a pottery business, a fish market, bread markets they're selling on the street. This is still business, and without customers, you don't have business. Without a business, the customers don't know where to come to. So I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to kind of like remind people, um though this is not maybe America's current standing and what we're going through as business professionals, and or working for companies and things like this, but people are going through this. So I just wanted to give an introduction, like boom, it's never a bad time to talk about perfecting your resume, twigging or revamping your resume, because let's say a national state of emergency was declared, and you were in one profession, but before that national state of emergency happened, that you had always thought about going into law or becoming a teacher, or working, partnering and networking with other entrepreneurs in your career field. Okay. So sometimes natural disasters, I'm just having y'all look at it on the bright side too. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise for some people, because they wouldn't have, taken that step to do something different or go another route, or, start something up. Sometimes it does take tragedy to wake some of us up, to, get us in a place where we say, hey, I remember I only get one life. Nobody can live before me. Am I doing what I want to do as far as a career, or as far as work, or as far as with my family? Like, am I really living my life to the fullest? It should not take extreme cases of danger and chaos and national states of emergencies for people to begin to think about their life. But it's also another, if anybody needed it, reason or level to be inspired or motivated, because there's already so many transitions and transfers and changes going on anyway. Now, we're not saying change your life just because the world is changing, but if you had to adapt, if you had to rearrange and reorganize things in your life so it could work better for your family, then I feel like people should have uh not just the jurisdiction to do it, but they should remember, how blessed we are as Americans to still be able to do this. There are still content management services out here like Crown Content Publications. Crown Publishing Content is our official business name. This is our YouTube channel for those of you who may be new. You can visit my website anytime, www, it's down here on the left side of the screen, .contentcrownpublications.com, where it gives more details, more of a list, direct inquiry of the type of content management services that we do offer. So this could be for authors. This could be for independent freelancers. This could be for 9 to 5ers, especially when you're talking about career services, resources, and referrals, helping you guys to format and write those resumes, professional summaries, and bios, helping to twig them so that you have a higher chance. Because really, I know we all in like a economic crisis and stuff right now, but I'm gonna tell y'all something else that we are all kind of, I ain't gonna say struggling with, but we do have to manage. Everybody is talking about managing your money, Okay, we've been talking about that for generations. Manage your money, manage your money. Even when you become a, entrepreneur, even when you become, a successful professional at work, manage your money. You know what else we have to manage suddenly during the after effects of a pandemic? We also are going to have to begin to manage our time better. TIME. That's what I said. Where Crown Content Publications comes in at is that our services have helped many professionals save a lot of time. Something like editing, formatting, even ghostwriting that YouTube script for you, that post, those advertisements you do on social media for your business. Sometimes people contact us because they might need help with the actual content and the wording that they know that they're sharing a flyer to promote something, a deal or special or something their has going on. But sometimes you need somebody to help you write, strategize, and brainstorm what the content advertisement post might say. That's another service that we provide for businesses and entrepreneurs out there, guys. 25 cents a word. Once again, you can find my Crown Publishing content business information when you visit the website at the bottom left hand side of the screen. It'll definitely tell you more, and the other things Crown Publishing content helps with when it comes to content. Um, so that's that website. Or if you want to contact me directly because you have just deeper inquiries or questions, my business email for my small business is also on the bottom left hand side of the corner of the screen, contentmasters at AOL.com. Really, I can't say that's my business email, y'all. The business email is Crown Content Publications at AOL.com, by the way. But Content Masters at AOL.com is a way that you guys can directly contact me and make inquiries about the content management services that we do offer. For example, you might be a parent with a junior in high school this year, and this junior has big goals and dreams. Sometimes you need letter of recommendations for certain type of jobs, or you need those good referrals, or you need some experience to land a certain type of job. And Crown Publishing Content does care about interns, college students, students in general, anybody working hard on that path towards elevating, equipping themselves with more skills, experience, and we call it elevating because in case you guys don't know, and definitely be instilling this in your children, making sure they understand as early as possible, even if they decide not to become entrepreneurs, but that the sooner you know what you want, the direction that you want to go, it's easier at that point for the support that you would be looking for, even if the support has to come for strangers. It's easier for people to begin to see where you could use assistance, help, resources, and things like that when you know exactly the direction that you are trying to go in your career field. Now, this is not uncommon either, where people sometimes they think they know the direction they want to go, and they're 2 years into building that plan on the direction they were trying to go. Let's say as far as becoming a med student or a doctor or something. And this happens to lots of people where they end up changing their major. That's for a college student, but individuals in general, they just might become interested in something different that they feel like they're gifted and they can make more of a living off of. So that happens too. And then when that happens, you're surely going to need a assistance with kind of probably transitioning and formatting and updating things like that professional bio profile, social media profile, resume, your summary, and more. Now, with authors, we also offer those query letter assistance, content management assistance, because not all authors and writers or film writers or whatever, not all of them have a publisher or producer. They might be working independently, and we understand that. So, yes, guys, if you are a writer or author out there listening, we do also offer query letter content management assistance. Okay, we can help you format that document, present your book in a way to other publishers, because most time when you are trying to get signed by a publisher, they will require you to submit some type of synopsis about the book, a query letter, kind of, and it can't just be anything. Now, when you're working with big publishers, This is not about that today, but I'm gonna just throw it in there. Those query letters and synopsis of your book matter. They haven't even read your book. They're going off of that one, maybe those first two chapters, the query letter you sent, and the synopsis of your book, right? It's going to be important that that's written and formatted correctly. Also, grant proposals or maybe writing an essay to be considered for a grant. It's just stuff like this when it comes to content that we never, ever, ever want to forget to share on our channel. We do have those services listed on the website. We never want to forget to mention it. We even write scripts for podcasters. Okay, we write lyrics for musicians. You see, so once again, it takes you visiting that website. Let me put it back up here real quick, just to get insight of the services we do and don't offer. That website is also going to lead you to where you can book a consultation if you decide that our services may help you, or it will exhibit my business phone number and business hours for you to be able to contact us and get the answers that you're looking for when it comes to our services. We are known to have one of the most beautiful turnaround times for our content management services because I work very hard to strategically pick the writers that I would have working with my team when it comes to the content management services we offer, not just for social media, like digital businesses that are promoting their services virtually and things like that, but we also help with those, once again, those resumes, professional bios, profiles, and summaries. Okay. Now, I just talked for 16 minutes, kind of trying to give a breakdown of how our content management services work. Now, for most of our projects, I said for most of them, you could be looking at 25 cents a word. Something like a one page business memo or one page you might have a specific order you put in. You might like, look, I need, these are my experiences. This is the type of position I'm trying to get. You might just want me to proofread your resume. Tell me what you got going on and why you can't get into the company or the business or get into what you were trying to do. We also have those consultations. They're called business consultations, guys. I'll make sure to leave in the comments where you guys can book that. Once again, it's on the website, but business consultations are not just reserved for small business owners and entrepreneurs and freelancers or authors. Okay, but they are important for the four different categories of people I just named. uh I'm sorry, y'all, I'm breathing in the phone, talking away. uh our business consultation services are also going to be for things like that because you may have more in depth or something more you're trying to figure out when it comes to what experience, skills, certifications, license you're missing. Is it just that you're not putting it on that resume, or that that professional biography statement on your website? Something so little information that you just might not have ever considered adding to your resume, stuff like that, guys. I'm telling you. And then I also kind of want to, you know, direct this specific stream to entrepreneurs because I don't know if an entrepreneur knows it, but and let's just say a beginning entrepreneur, it's okay to keep your at that point your resume, right? Because you may have transitioned from full-time work or full-time work at two jobs to just straight out entrepreneurship. Let me tell you how a resume could still work in your favor as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, as a nonprofit owner or a nonprofit chairman. You should still have a resume in place. I'm gonna put it like this because what we traditionally used to do, every time we gain new experience, we would just throw it on our resume, wouldn't we? Yeah, I don't have the laugh to make the audience laugh on that part, but yeah, it's true, guys. Like this was a traditional way of how we were probably taught or probably thought that building a resume goes. Now, only you are going to know thoroughly and inside out all the experience you've had, even if that experience in life started at 12. Hey, I used to work on cars and motors with my dad, or it started at 11 with another young lady. Hey, I've been doing hair since I was 11. Well, you wouldn't put it like that on your resume, but there is a way that you could, present yourself as a hairdresser, as a hair salonist. You might say, why would I even need that? Why would I need a resume as an entrepreneur? We're about to get into that in a minute. Let me stay on, because I want y'all to see. Though resumes might sound traditional, old school, how to create a resume, all that might sound old school, but we are in a new age. We know that even with digital technology, when you do an application online for most of these companies, they have like systems that go through and filter through the applications and kind of recommend applications to uh, uh, HR representatives and stuff like that. And that was not always like that. You know what I'm saying? We would just format our resumes, probably have it on a piece of paper, on a hard drive or something. Um, it wasn't always like that to where you put an application online, then kind of wait for a company to call you back. Stuff is just so crazy now. So, anyways, now that we know that applications are oftentimes uh, filtered out, some are chosen over other ones. How are they? How is this filtering system working? They look for certain keywords on your resume, certain, um, experience and certain degrees. It's just certain stuff on your application that they're going to look for. Some of you guys may already know this stuff, but a lot of people don't. I mean, just because it's the age of technology don't mean everybody's just keeping up with it. And how it's changing society, even when it comes to something like applying for a job, because this is just something I heard in real life. Um a lot of people were applying for jobs post pandemic when a lot of stuff opened back up and they still weren't able to land anything. Let's talk about that. I'm taking a pause break. Give me 1 second, guys. So yeah, everything opened back up, and for a while, I don't know if you guys remember, on most media, reporting platforms, you would see stories like, staff shortages everywhere. Maybe that was more towards the beginning of 2022, because I really haven't really been seeing articles about that so much anymore. If anything, um I see that a lot of companies are still having a hard time, like they might just be having higher turnover rates. And let me tell y'all what I noticed when I put, the contrast together, and I'm like, why would all these companies be hiring trying to get people back to work, but people are saying they either they get the job and they can't stay long. And we talking sometimes between week 1 and week 6, people were going to get these jobs, and they couldn't keep them. It's like, as a society, when did we begin to look like it? If you keep having a high turnover rate in your company, and you doing all these interviews, and you really are trying to fix the staff shortage at your company, what's the problem here? You know what I'm saying? Why are we still having these high turnover rates? It's not just people being fired, not if it's a staff shortage. It's also, a lot of people being out of work so long, and then they finally return to work. They still, gas is higher now. I could talk about something like this all day long. I could understand why a person try to start a job the first week, 2 or 3 in a year like 2022 and can't even keep it long. I just kind of want to tie that into this because people get the jobs too sometimes. They got past that part, but I'm telling you, it's already been, people are already researching this. It's already articles about it. Like, turnover rates have never been so high. So what's worse? A staff shortage or just a turnover rate where you are able to hire people, but they're not staying. So you're constantly have to replace these positions. Let's start at simple positions. You got restaurants going through this. Cooks are not staying at work. Cashiers are not staying at work. Like, we get it. People definitely need the money. We're still in the after effects of a pandemic. But it's always been a deep question of mine. Like, if staff shortages are so bad right now, and we're talking about even with companies like Apple, Amazon, UPS, all y'all got to do is go research the articles. And I do also look at, no matter how petty a profession, like, we really need to get off all these high. I've never been a type of person to judge a person because of where they work anyway. But anybody out there still like that, I just feel for them, because it's like, damn, the pandemic didn't ain't humble people yet. So if you got restaurants can't even keep cooks right now, what are the hospitals going through? They overwork. What are the schools going through? Uh, these other places that kind of we don't think about them, sanitation workers. If we don't have people to come pick up our trash, weekly. Y'all know how it go. We put our trash out on the curb or take it. If them people, which they are having staff shortages too, just so y'all know. I see both sides of it. Yes, companies are hiring, and a lot of companies, I've also seen this happen too. A lot of people got into companies they had been trying to get into 5, 10 years before the pandemic. I just want to encourage somebody out here who might listen to this later. But it's like, yeah, I seen this with my eyes. I seen many people, you know what I'm saying, have a whole income elevation just because the pandemic happened, just because businesses became staff short. They, you know what I'm saying? Positions they would have never been, I ain't gonna say qualified for, but considered for. Make, like I say, they just been trying to get that same job for years. Well, I know personally people that done got on at companies they couldn't even get on before the pandemic. So that part is real too. Like you do got people taking advantage of what's going on. People not coming to work. They at work getting them hours. The staff shortages, they are definitely taking advantage of what's, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And I say that's a positive way to do it, but everybody can't do that. So you got those ones working longer hours, like I said, because places are staff shortage and things like that. But then you got the ones that start and quit because they can't even. You know this country is in trouble when people are beginning to say they can't even afford to go to work, bro. I don't know. Or somehow they end up in more debt. I'm gonna tell you why. How the hell you end up in more debt? Because America got it bad, hollering everybody need to go to work. And they've been doing it. They've been doing this they've been doing this for years, bro. Okay, let me tell y'all what I mean. They quick to holler somebody need a job. You know, America is one of them places that get called a bomb real quick. I'm just like it is. But now we living in a time, and I'm email is down here. I showed y'all a second ago. Anybody want to see this article? Email me. But it's like it's articles out here where people is saying they feeling like they in debt just from trying to go to work. Once again, let me explain how something like this can happen. If gas is high, I think some can stop eating at work. See, look, if they ain't got enough food and they got to do food rations, they can't even afford to take lunch. But I pay attention to articles like that. Y'all do what y'all want to. And it just made me think, like, what's really going on here? If you know, you can barely make it with one job. Stop hollering everybody needs to go to work during the pandemic. Because some people are actually making their debt worse. Let me try to talk to the masses a little bit. You know, just like college ain't for everybody, every job position ain't for everybody, every career is not for everybody. We get it. That's why we should all stay in our own lane anyway, and more be focused on. If you haven't asked yourself, it is August of 2022. If you ain't asked yourself since this pandemic started, before monkeypox, hey, what is best for me and my family? If you ain't asked yourself yet, it's time. Cause guess what? Everybody else in their family, baby, they gonna be out here doing what's best for them. And, you know, and I would hate for people to wait to the last minute to things is extreme, like it's another shutdown, or we just have a bad economic crisis for people to start thinking about, you know what I'm saying, spending time with their family, what's best for them and their family. If we have more people organizing, you know what I'm saying, what's best for my household, we would all be so busy, you know what I'm saying, pushing through this pandemic. It wouldn't be time for a lot of the stuff we've been seeing lately. See, a lot of the violence and crime we've been seeing to me only goes back and roots back to people being broke, people struggling, people tired of what's going on in society around them, right? But number one reason, yeah, people broke. I said that. What? So you wouldn't expect crime to go up then? Yes, we. So there's been more crime, more robberies, more road rage, more abuse cases popping up. More people ended up. Let me tell y'all something else that's happened. This probably like the fifth story, and it's only August 6th. Since last month, I done read of young ladies. This is not something new, but it's happening. Like it's happening, bro. Don't ever be too distracted by the what's going on out here that you don't know what's really going on. So this another thing. Not only is there scams on LinkedIn, Monster.com, all these cool job platform sites that we used to love and that we used to feel was so safe. So I've read 5 different stories of women thinking they going to job interviews in other states or they going for new positions, and they mad they don't see them no more, y'all. So ladies, be careful out there. I thought that this might be a great time to throw this in this live because that is happening. Go just research. Do you? We're not saying that it's gonna happen to everybody, but whatever y'all doing to run these young ladies off, and all the stories I heard, they were young ladies like between the ages of 18. None of them was older than 30. Even this last story I heard, and I think it was in Pensacola, Florida. But the one before that, it was a young lady that had left California to go to Houston for a job. She came up missing too. It's crazy, bro. So crazy. Like, are we living? I see the side of staff shortage, and y'all telling everybody to go to work. Why are we not talking about all these people coming up missing that weren't trying to go to work? It's crazy. It is what it is. I'm watching all of that at the same time. Now, ladies, there might have been a time where you could do that. It's like, hey, I done land a position in another state. I'm finna go travel. When did we start going alone anyway? You ain't landed the job yet. Why would you go to a foreign state like where you know nobody? You go to that state specifically for that job. It doesn't sound safe. That don't sound safe anyway, not in 2022. But if you are considering a position in another, you know what I'm saying, city, state, country, I mean, encouraging you to do your research on the place is the least anybody can tell you to do. But I just wouldn't travel alone after so many stories, even if I can raise a little awareness on my channel today. After so many stories of people coming up missing just from trying to go, you know what I'm saying, get a job during the after effects of a pandemic. Stop going by yourself, young ladies. Yeah, stop doing it because like it's getting bad out here. When people are hungry, broke, you got all kind of income statuses. Like we all in the same boat. But the thing is, the rate that inflation is going, shortages and everything, and people being on certain income statuses different from one another, it's really crazy out here. Like some states, for example, are about to go to 4-day work, not just work weeks, but actually school weeks. Something else for y'all to go look into on Google later on. But yes, it's happening this fall, 2022. Some school districts, public school districts, have already, decided that there will be no, 5 days a week school. So that sounds great and dandy, don't it? I mean, if I was a student, I mean, back in school back then, I'd be very happy. Like, yes, especially if I was in high school. Like, man, this give me a whole extra day to get money at work because I had a job my sophomore, senior, and junior year. Okay, so but I used to get half days. That's how I used to get my out. When I was a senior year, I had a business class I took that made up those credit hours when I was at work. So I don't know if they still have stuff. And it talk to your kids about that type of stuff. If you got a kid going to high school this year, those type of classes could be very, very influential to their futures. Okay, like very positive, very good for their futures. Even me, having one just now going to middle school this year. Oh, we were very. I made sure to have a deep talk with her. I wanted her to have an understanding of electives, for example. And I never thought I would be that type of mom, but I'm like, okay, baby, when it comes to these electives, you got to choose something wise. She's never had electives in life. I'm sitting here, damn near found myself trying to pick the classes she was gonna take. But I said, well, let me calm down. She's only in sixth grade, but I do want her to understand that those electives, like if I could go back to sixth grade and you know what I'm saying, really go back and pay attention to the electives I was choosing, like in middle school, high school, I would have paid more attention. Not saying that I was just a dummy, y'all, but there were lots of beneficial classes at the high schools, middle schools I went to anyway. But I am glad I took that business class. So, like I said, how it worked, I would go to work. They count those work hours as my credit hours. So, I had a pass to leave school. I think it was like 2, 3 days a week, but they definitely made it possible for a senior to have, a whole job, a whole full time job while I was in high school. So if you do have high schoolers this year, I'm just saying, or maybe a cousin or something, that's one little way of support. Maybe you can't get them nothing for school. Talk to them about them classes. Make sure not just passing them, y'all, but it's some classes that early in life that can set you up. You see, that's something they can put on their resume. National Junior Honor Society. A honor roll since seventh grade. I'm trying to start little there. I know there's other type of stuff. Science club. Like I was in a science club. We was had it planned out like it was supposed to. I could have put that on my resume later. Look, I went to Panama as early as 12 years old. I helped to participate in a project where we were helping to save leatherback sea turtles. You know how good that would have looked on my resume today? And I don't know if I even would have thought to add it, back then. But I really was in a science club. I ain't gonna tell y'all what happened with it. Not with the science club, but we raised all this money to go to Panama. Was it Costa Rica or Panama? Because we really were going to be a part of a science project like that. Just great experience to be young. And yeah, I ain't gonna tell y'all. Just know somebody ended up taking off with the money, and that just wasn't good. We did washes, Costa Rica. It was Costa Rica to raise all that money then, and somebody took off with the money, y'all. Not a kid. We was just kids. So that type of stuff still happens too. But I wanted to start off like with the basis of stuff. See, because we got babies that's coming up. We got babies in middle school, high school. How important it is for them to know that the earlier they put themselves on the path, you have to put them on the path. The earlier they know what they want to do, it's gonna help no matter what level of income household you come from. If that young child know what that young child wants to do, that young can start that journey early. Y'all see what I'm saying? And that young child, maybe that young child wants to be an engineer, a pilot, even something like a pilot. Y'all, there's like summer camps, where and they have grants and scholarships for the parents for next year. They have these type of camps and projects and organizations and stuff to get these kids ready for their future careers. They have this stuff. I just want y'all to know, and I know people that's been, uh, what do you call that? Honorably sending their kids during the pandemic. They wasn't letting that stop what the type of future success they setting up for their kids or themselves. So we talked about stuff out here for middle school and high school kids when it comes to setting them up. Because one day they will have to make a resume, guys. It is what it is. And like I said, even being an entrepreneur, I had kind of switched subjects, y'all. I wanted to give y'all the pros to having, a separate resume, kind of like a separate professional bio summary that proves your experience even as an entrepreneur. Maybe you are a landscaper, but you have always worked for yourself. That business resume, even as an entrepreneur, should have more than enough information on it to show. You shouldn't have to tell nobody. Once they see a professional bio summary on that social media platform, however you want to do it, on that sheet of paper, if you going in for a resume, they should already know how you coming. That's how detailed that resume should be. Even if you're an entrepreneur, where can they go look up work that you have completed for other people? I already had that type of stuff ready, but do not think you cannot use a entrepreneur type contract type of resume to get into certain doors. I hope that makes sense. It's just that an employer or another business you might be trying to network with, they don't know what all you got to bring to the table. They don't know what all skills, experiences, and things you done help other companies or YouTube channels or social media platforms do if you don't even have a resume to point that out. Now, some people just like doing virtual consultations, letting people know where they can find information about some of their previous work. Because they don't have, just to make it easier for us as independent business leaders. Have y'all ever thought about having a whole resume as an author, for example? Because we got authors throughout this channel. As a writer, you should have a writer's portfolio, like a writer resume. If you want to call it that, a portfolio. Just telling people, oh, I got 10 different books and 10 genres on Amazon is not going to get it. That's not real wholehearted marketing and promotion. It is what it is. Again, y'all don't hesitate to check out the website with chance because we do have content management and book publication, independent book publication consultations for authors still. So we're not making fun of nobody or nothing like that. It's just like I've seen independent authors go a little further doing these type of things for themselves. Imagine taking an author resume to a big publishing company. No, you're not trying to turn in a book to them for them to publish no more. Now you want to become a, column editor. Now you want to become a magazine, content writer. Now, everybody's goal is not to grow that same way as a writer. Some people just want to remain, they want to stick to books. They don't see their career going any further than books. But I'm talking to the authors this is meant for. If you have the ability to sit there and write a whole book, you now just gained yourself a whole bunch of experience and skills, and I can help you put it into words it needs to be put in. Did you format that book? Did you design that book cover? Did you do that? Did you register for that ISBN and copyright on your own? You have just gained some highly encouraged skills and experience that a lot of people won't even get. So not all experience and skills are going to come from college. That's another one I want to touch on anyway, because I was already saying how college ain't from for everybody. I hope we all know that skills and experience don't always have to come from trade school, college, and technical schools and things like that. Actually, as a matter of fact, technology is so is so deep right now. You can find yourself learning a whole skill on something like YouTube. I am not kidding. You can look up how to put a battery in my Mustang 3000. It's gonna pop up exact. I guarantee you, somebody's already did a video on it. How to make a concoction of lotion because I want to start a lotion line. Well, all I got to do is go on YouTube and look it up. It's gonna show me exactly how to do it. So I hope it's overstood that nobody has to go to college or university or technical school to gain an experience or something like that these days. Now, something like a dentist, a doctor, certain professions, we would want you. I'm speaking for the people when I say this. Please go to school before you're performing plastic surgery rituals on people, and because people have already went to prison for stuff like that. We don't need anybody out here practicing medical negligence, malpractice, and things like that. But what we are saying, there's still a lot of skills, trades, and things we can learn right online. Now, I just use YouTube for example. There's also a lot of online platforms that's going to allow you to get these certifications. Some certifications you get in 24 hours. Y'all be surprised. Let me try to give y'all an example. What did I see? Something about paralegal paralegal. I don't know. Y'all would be surprised though. Harvard University has a whole online school. Anybody can get certifications license from. But you would, I think that one is just for IT. This one they got going for IT classes. All you're doing is paying for the class. I think we all know IT is a very big booming category field of work right now, and it probably will be for the next at least 20 years. Any job in IT and technology is not only is it going to pay you, it's just in demand. So I just gave that one as an example, but if you were just to sit and Google like, hey, how do I become a how do I learn how to code? You know what I'm saying? Because you might want to start your own video game line, or just you might want to learn coding for different reasons. But anyways, certain things you heard it from Crown Content Publications. So just remember, we our skills and experiences come from different places, and then like any skills or experiences that you have, you can have that all day long, but until you put them for the test, because people are always going to want to know, like, well, who have you helped? Who have you worked for? What kind of businesses and companies? So getting a skills license, experiences, certifications, stuff like that in 6 weeks, 6 months, it is a short-term plan for most people. Even if you're a felon and you're stuck, it's still gonna always help you to elevate yourself in a skill, a trade, a license somewhere, that you can always take that and work with it. I'm not saying nothing new, just reminding people, giving people hope through this after effects of a pandemic and things like that, economic crisis. We got all. You can still do what you want to do in this world, especially right now, because I mean, I see where our country has been at a disadvantage, but I see how if we were to look at the cup as the glass is half full instead of half empty, a lot of us would be doing a lot better, because all it comes down to at the end of the day is knowing what's going to be best for you and your family over, what society tells you should do right now. Some of y'all got households where two of you are vaccinated and the other four aren't. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. We wouldn't call that disorganized. We call that your business, first of all. But that might have been what was best for your household, because the two people that's vaccinated in that household, maybe their jobs made it a mandatory stipulation to keep their job. We never know why people are. why their household is doing things a certain way. I also encourage you guys out there to be more sensitive to your neighbors, to your fellow community members, and stuff like that, because facts are facts, and this pandemic just affected everybody, in different ways. And when I say that, I mean in ways to where you got thousands of people still trying to pull themselves up from the bootstrap and shake off, you know what I'm saying? Everything they endured, all the setbacks they went through during the pandemic and stuff like that. So, though we said college is not for everybody, we are not discouraging college education, and we never will with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. Because first off, I'm a student myself. I plan on staying in school for quite some time. Um, because, like I say, once you know where you want to go in life, once you know the steps you have to take, it makes making take writing those goals down a little easier. It also makes accomplishing those goals a little more realistic, and then before you know it, you are exactly where you vision yourself being, you know what I'm saying, as far as your career life. Also, you guys feel free anytime to contribute to the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel at our Cash App, $ Crown Content, down there at the bottom. Um, so this discussion today was pretty much about perfecting your resume. Just reminding you guys, skills and experience too sometimes is going to be accepted a lot over uh education. Okay. So most jobs will require you to have a minimum of a high school diploma, and I think we all know that. That's why they make those jokes in high school talking about you might be flipping burgers if you don't get your high school diploma, because not too many jobs are even going to want to talk to you, because we were talking about education. So when we talk about education, high school diploma probably would be like that basic level of education to employers. But you got a lot of people, and this is just real, that don't even have that yet. So what are they supposed to do? Well, fortunately, something like GED programs and stuff like that are available online. I want parents to know too, while I'm on this topic today. Remember that. Let's not give up on our youth. Even if you're older than the youth, it's never too late to go back and get your GED, because that just makes you a step closer to being where you want to be, getting those qualifications, certifications, getting the education that, because maybe where you're trying to go in life, you might want to be get your CDL license, you might want to work for this company. And though you are very experienced in how to drive trucks, this job won't hire you because you don't have a GED, but you don't want to got the CDL license. You see what I mean? So that's why I would say, before anything, knowing exactly what we want. Because, like with me, I might have just thought, hey, I want to be an author. But see, me at least putting a foot forward and becoming a writer and going ahead and publishing books, eventually, after doing that so long, I said, well, no, I see myself being an author, but maybe I want to do this or that or this too, or I still want to be a writer, but I would like to, write this way. I would like to write blogs, or I would like to do this or that, right? It's all about growing too. It's okay to know where you what you want and where you want to go in life. And what did I say at the beginning? The sooner we know, and teaching our kids that, the earlier they know, they can kind of avoid some roadblocks later down in life. Then once they know, nothing separating them between what they want uh and getting it, but distraction. We also have to have those, type of conversations with our young people too. But the earlier we know what we want, so once we know that we have those goals. We know what type of experience, what type of companies we want to show on our resume we've worked for. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? If you know that military is what you want at the age of 18, you 15, 16 now, then you know what you want. You might even have plans for 5, 10 years after you get out of the service. Who knows? But knowing what you want is going to alleviate a lot of the job shortages out here. Too for too long, we just been told get a job and pay your bills. But I don't think we're encouraging one another enough to not just get a job. Tell somebody, well, look, go get that job, but it might not be what's going to make you most happiest, what's going to make you the most money. But let's talk about what our plans and goals are while you work that dead end job. What are you going to be doing to get off of it? Are you going to start a small business on the side? Are you going to go ahead and invest some of that small paycheck money into a license or a certification for yourself that you can receive in 6 weeks, some of them 6 months? And a lot of these programs are online, because we all eventually, to me, are going to get to a place. I know, I mean, I'm not a financial expert here, analyst expert, but I can see that the way inflation is going, we might have more minimum wage pay raises and stuff like that out here. But even with that, it comes down to us having these skills and trades that could help us make more money for our families. But think like this: what is that skill or trade or something you're good at that if you had to start over in another country tomorrow, you could start doing that very job that you love and still have work and be able to provide for your family? What is that thing you could do that would be considered a essential skill or trade, that you could even take to another country? And if we're not thinking like that, it's just, I don't know, it's my opinion. I feel like it's time. Like what, it's cool to know what we want. Only we have to ask ourselves why we want it, right? Is it just for the happiness? Is it for the financial freedom? Because what if you are forced to move to another country one day? Could the skills, do you have a skill that could keep you and your family okay? You know why I talk like that? Because what do we think are happening in the third world countries when something happens? They have to move. They have to move to another city, another state, another country sometimes for their safety. So once you make a move like that, what are you going to do? Wait till you're in another country to try to learn a new skill trade? Uh, you know, Most of, like I said, the stuff out here that allows you to get these certifications and trainings and stuff and licenses, you can do online these days in 2022. Then once you get the license, you're going to need some experience somewhere. And let me encourage you guys, if you are a writer looking for more experience because you're trying to get through certain doors, email me at contentmasters@aol.com. We might have some work for you at the Crown Publishing Content family. You can help us. You can help us with content. I'm just saying, get that experience, because what I see a lot too, people get these degrees, these certifications and license, and then they turn around, nobody wants to hire them. Why? Because they don't even have a look of experience yet. But I know these employers be knowing that people are trying to get that experience. It's post pandemic, there's staff shortages, and I just really really hope that I see the days that a lot of businesses become a little more considerate. It just helps us more as a whole, as a society. I don't think everybody sees it right now, but when one business falls, one company, one supervisor, it's really affecting us all as an economy, as having the willpower, having the right and the freedom to start businesses out here. What's the point if you still got businesses that want to be biased over something like experience? We're not even just talking about backgrounds or college education or nothing like that. So what I'm preaching is still get as many skills and trades as you can. If you don't do nothing else, you got a lot of people out here homeless, but they at least have a phone. And I don't know why I have to go this deep, but when they have a phone, they now have access to internet, even if they have to go get Wi-Fi somewhere, right? They can now really, I mean, because if you're homeless, why not work on yourself to make sure that you're doing everything you can to, when you come out that situation, not be back in that situation. So these days, it could look like you being homeless, literally, and actually studying for some type of license or trade right from your phone through that homeless transition, or staying out of a motel room, or staying with family, whatever the situation is. Work on that. That's going to be not just money you invest in it, certifications or license or trade. It's also going to be a good investment. You see what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is you're investing in yourself in a way to where you're now able to offer a service or product, or on your own, even if you're not able to get a job. Once again, depending on what that trade, service, or skill is, your next step is just to get some experience. Boom, you're good. Start as low or high as you want to. If what you're trying to get into is landscaping, like I said, and you went to school and did everything for landscaping, you can't land a job, but you need money a little sooner than how your job search is going. Well, guess what? You now have the skills, you have the education as a landscaper. You still should never feel stuck. Now you just need a clientele base. Now you just got to put yourself out there and let people know you offer that service. That's how that goes. But what we don't do is we don't give up because an employer didn't hire us right when we thought we were going to get hired, or this employer didn't accept my resume or job or my experience. You don't stop there. Not post pandemic, and that's why you have more people. It seems like actually starting to begin to go into business for themselves, guys, because I don't know what's up with society right now. I know it's a lot of transitions, but how many companies think people finna sit around and stay broke and struggle and all this, just because of their stipulations? Then we want to turn around and attack entrepreneurs, business owners, and make it hard for them. I didn't say that they were attacked, but it's a lot of that going on too. I mean, I'm just being real about the fact. A lot of independent entrepreneurs, and this is nothing new. History always repeats itself, especially in the black community. They are targeted because it's like it is what it is. Society has pretty much molded us, and would rather see us work for an employer, work for a big company. I don't know. It's crazy. Like, instead of getting tired of being turned down countless times, being tired of being underappreciated at a job and stuff like that, and starting your own. But what we want people to know is, with bad resumes, bad backgrounds, there's still hope. Sometimes you just didn't know. People like Crown Content Publications content management services are out here. Let me put this website back up here. We talking about a team of people who's willing to sit down and talk about your career with you. You see what I'm saying? Talk about your goals with you, even if it's your own business you're trying to start, business plans, or you're trying to go back to school. We are trying to help you locate those grants, try to help you get registered. Some people just need help through those type of steps, and that's why we are a content management type of business. We don't want to just be limited to helping authors, and we decided this in the start of 2022. That's why we started the channel. We have much more work as publishers and writers at Crown Publishing Content than we thought. You know what I'm saying? Because we're branched out, our vines are stretching out as far as being able to help any focused individual out here that is serious about, getting to where they're trying to go in life. Okay. Once again, here is the channel cash app down here on the bottom left hand side for anybody interested in contributing to our mission to keep the power of business networking alive in our communities and abroad during the after effects of a pandemic. This looks like us providing services for clients who contact us at a much more affordable rate. Um, Sharing tips and gems just like these type of live videos with the masses out there, sometimes just to keep y'all inspired too, and sometimes just to remind you there is assistance out here with things like profiles, resumes, you know what I'm saying, marketing and advertisement on your social medias, scripts for speeches, or what I'm saying, events or YouTube channel. We help with those type of things. You don't know until you contact us though. Thank you guys for tuning in to another live segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel where publishing and marketing meet. Stay tuned because weekly we will continue to interview authors and entrepreneurs, have these healthy discussion topics, uh, you know, and keep the power alive that way when it comes to business networking. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, don't forget to give this video a like.